This is the 3 p.m. Takeover, Radio Northern Beach's only drive-home show.
Keep it right here for a whole hour of fresh hits and entertainment for your Wednesday afternoon.
Here we go.
This is Hold My Hand by Jess Glynn. Welcome to Radio Northern Beaches, 88.7 and 90.3. You're listening to the 3 p.m. Takeover with Hope and Victoria.
Hope, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Will you hold my hand? That's a good song.
That is a good song, and that was a good intro.
I was trying to sing along, and poor Hope, you were physically cringing at the high notes I could not hit.
That song is impossible to sing. Like, for people that have ever tried, it's really tricky.
But when you listen to it, all you want to do is try and sing it. It's so catchy.
Yeah, it's one of those songs that you want to sing. There should be like a word for that. Not necessarily, because there are catchy songs you don't want to sing, but there are some songs where you're like, I just have to sing along.
Kind of like every Adele song, and you go, man, she has a range I cannot reach.
And you know what's bad is every Adele song that comes out, you're like, you know what? All over it. I'm going to nail this one. It doesn't sound hard at all. And then you start and it's like...
Same with every person who can play musical instruments. Like, I'm just going to try this Adele song. And you're like, just please don't. I'm sorry, but...
No, don't do it.
Unless you're exceptionally good and you just happen to have the same range as her. Just for the sake of humanity, don't even try
Just maybe don't try.
I don't even mean it in a mean way. Just because half the song will sound amazing and half of it you'll just be off.
Won't sound, yeah, that's what's so tricky.
It's such a strange, it's like the Adele paradox or something.
Fortunately, I don't really sing, so I don't have to
neither.
Contend with this,
I'm
luckily.
An awful singer, and I own it. It's fine. I'm never going to get a record deal, and I'm okay with it.
This is why we speak on the radio rather than sing.
And when I do sing on the radio, it's like for comical effect, not because Victoria wants a career in it.
It's when the speakers are not on.
Yeah.
So I thought we would start today with a bit of a funny piece of news that I just read yesterday.
Yes,
and
please.
I think it's so strange. I'm going to share it with you.
I'm ready to react.
Okay, good. So a woman was involved in a hit and run in Florida, and she thought
it was going to be funny, and I'm already like, I'm not emotionally prepared for this story because you use the word funny in this story's funny.
No, it is.
So a hit and run.
I promise. So this woman was involved in a hit and run, and she thought she got away with her crime until her own car called.
Oh, she didn't get hit?
No.
Okay.
She was the one that... She was driving the car.
Right.
And she thought she got away with her crime until her own car called the emergency services.
What? How? How did the car call?
I know. Well, her modern and clearly technologically superior Ford Focus sent an automated call to the local police station saying the car had been involved in a crash and to press 0 to speak with the car's driver because it's a new safety feature in case cars crash.
Wow.
So here she is thinking she's got away with her crime. Next minute, her car calls the police on her.
That's so funny. Her car has turned into like a vigilante.
I know. Isn't that so weird?
And it's like TV shows. Oh, I just started watching Daredevil season 2, hence my use of the word vigilante. But like that whole idea of it's like doing the police's job for them.
Yeah. It's so weird. And when the police found her,
fighting Ford Focus.
She denied that she'd had anything to do with the hit and run. But when they called Ford to check about this technology,
I thought when they called the car and the car was like, I was there. I saw everything that happened.
No, when they called...
Put me in witness protection.
No.
Just paint me a different colour and give me a new number plate. Witness protection for cars.
A new brand.
Yeah.
And so, they called Ford, as in the company, and they revealed that the auto call system only activates in the case of a serious crash where it's clear that the car has run something down. Oh. So then she got put in jail.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I think she's out on bail, but anyway. Imagine being dobbed in by your own car. That's so depressing.
Where's the loyalty?
I know, I thought of all things, your car, you could trust your car.
You can't trust anyone or anything these days.
I was going to say anyone. It's anything now. Even objects have the power to call the cops on you.
The way AI is heading, I feel like it's a matter of time before we have to say anyone and not instead of anything. It's going to become politically incorrect to say anything.
You know when you need to use the word racist, but it's not right, but it's to fit a different context?
Technologist?
Technologist.
Yeah. I know
it's like racist and sexist, but it's not the right word.
Yeah. It's not about race or sex.
That kind of thing, exactly. We'll be right back after this. This is Break Free by Ariana Grande on the 3 p.m. Takeover.
You're listening to the 3 p.m. Takeover. Welcome back. Another song we just listened to with very high bits that I should never attempt to sing.
But I think we learned our lesson. We weren't as singy that time.
That's true. We were much better. I think we heard it and we were like, no, I fell for it with the hand holding, but not with the breaking free.
We had a very serious chat to ourselves in the last 5 minutes, if you were listening. So now we know not to sing on it.
Yeah. And I hope that wasn't just us who thought that. I hope that was kind of like a thing that everyone was like, yeah, the Adele paradox, which I've now just coined. I hope it catches on. Guys, let's get it trending on Twitter.
Well, it did with
me. Let's get it trending on Twitter.
We'll start it.
We should. Oh, yeah. We totally can.
On our Twitter. So, yeah, make sure that you're following our Twitter if you're not boo earns for you, make sure that you do.
So we're going to talk a little bit about our local area.
Because, as you know, we are a community radio show. We are focused on the Northern Beaches, which are beautiful, if I do say so myself as a resident.
I have to agree with you. And, it's not biased at all. But we're going to talk about some local community events that are coming up in case you guys want to check them out, because why not?
Every time I see something advertised, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to it, and then I never do. And then people just go to like the coolest free events all the time. And
That's
I'm just
true.
not that person. I wish I was.
Yeah, I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, but I wish I was.
But we're going to make you guys good at that kind of stuff. So listen up.
So I was trawling across the council websites.
As you do.
As I do, regular Wednesday. And there's a couple of really cool things coming up. So a David Williams book has been turned into a play, Mr. Stink.
Oh, I know that book.
And you'll be thrown because it's the same illustrator from Roald Dahl.
Oh.
Because I kept seeing the posters being like, oh, Roald Dahl, I don't know Mr. Stink, but it's...
Yeah, but it's the
different
same
book.
guy.
Yeah, so from the 29th of March to the 31st of March, that play is happening. I believe it's aimed at children. I'm just going to assume that.
Yeah,
but,
that's cool. Or like it's totally relatable if you were a child when it was a book.
Yeah.
Now you're not, so all ages.
It's happening at Glen Street.
Yeah, and Glen Street's all like amazingly nice now since it's been renovated, so good place to be.
So if you're into the Easter spirit, as I know you are, Hope.
Always.
I know that that's your jam. On the 26th of March, from 11 till 3, Newport is having an Easter art festival.
Oh, fun.
Which could be kind of fun. So check that out. I don't think I've ever done like an Easter art festival.
Neither have I.
I didn't know that we had them.
No, neither. And a heads up, the Palm Beach Market on the 27th of March is cancelled to be rescheduled.
So that one's normally held at Governor Phillip Park. But the markets that are on is on Good Friday. The Beaches Market is going to be on. Rain, hail or shine, or our Lord being crucified, it's going to be on.
Doing whatever happens on Good Friday. It is always hot on Good Friday, always.
No, it's always like cloudy.
Oh, I always feel like it's sunny.
No, that's the whole thing, because like
no,
part of the story is that like it goes cloudy and dark, and this thing that like every year it goes cloudy and dark on Good Friday. It's really weird. It starts off sunny and then it goes really dark.
It's always like hellishly hot in the morning, and then in the evening it goes a bit funny in the afternoon. This is true.
Yeah, so the Beaches Market is still on. It's on the 25th of March, which is Good Friday, and it's from 8 till 2. So check that out as well. They'll have like, are they the kind of markets that do like everything, where it's like fresh produce and like, like face painting and like cool little knickknacks? I feel like it's one of those markets that does everything.
Yeah, the Beaches Market is a bit of everything. Kind of like the big one that you have in French Forest, the French Forest Market there on Warringah Road, heading towards the Lambie Heights Business Park, which is also on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah. And there's a Seniors Festival coming up, which I know you're very excited for, Hope.
Oh, absolutely. I'm getting to my senior years now since I had a birthday.
So from April 1st until April 10th, there's going to be a Seniors Festival through Manly Council. So if you're interested in that, check out the Manly Council website. The link is through the What's On page. And
also, if you're over 50, you count as a senior to Manly Council.
Yeah.
Heads up.
And they have over 50 activities and events.
Wow, 50.
Yeah, which is
That's
quite
so cool.
a lot. So check that out. That's kind of like a thing from each council area. Yeah, and if you do go to any of those, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
It's really cool.
How Mr. Stink smells. Let us know how the markets are.
And talking about one event from each council area, there may soon only be one council area, but we will talk more about that straight after this.
The tension is building.
X's and O's by Elle King. You're listening to Radio Northern Beaches 88.7 and 90.3. This is the 3 p.m. takeover. And we were just talking about a couple of the local events that are coming up on the Northern Beaches. We'll put some information about that on our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/the 3 p.m. takeover. And talking about the council area, Victoria.
You ended that last segment with like a bit of a
cliffhanger. If you missed it.
Kept everyone sitting through the X's and O's, which is a great song. Again, is this week, like, I know it's not a theme week, but is the theme like
community
songs that Victoria really wants to sing to but probably shouldn't because of the range that they're in?
Yeah.
So that's what every song so far I'm like, gotta sing to it, but probably shouldn't for the sake of everyone in the local area.
No, it just has worked out that way. Really good music today. I'm loving it. And for people who have been requesting songs, we really appreciate it. So keep on sending your requests in if you have any.
Yes, please.
And you will have them played on the show shortly, which is really exciting.
Can you please end the suspense?
Okay. It's council amalgamation, the hottest / most boring topic
biggest
in the world
letdown.
right now.
As a person who does not care about politics, that is the biggest letdown of cliffhangers ever.
This is true. So council amalgamation, you've probably heard it 1,000 times from a million different media sources, and it's really not that exciting unless you're, I guess, really headed that way or you work for a council. But it is important for the area. So we thought that we just had a little bit of a chat about it. So the original plan, of course, was to split Warringah in half, and half of Warringah would go with Pittwater, and the other half of Warringah would join on to Manly and Mossman.
I like that you say, obviously, like, of course it's not going to happen. And I'm like, this is the first I'm hearing of it. Please continue.
So that was the original plan. But now there is a new proposal for Mossman to join with North Sydney, and for the three council.
North Sydney?
Yeah, and for the three.
Is it Neutral Bay in the way?
No, Neutral Bay is in North Sydney Council.
Oh, I'm thinking suburbs, not
this
not
is council
councils.
areas.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah. So for Mossman Council to join with North Sydney Council, and for our 3 Northern Beaches councils to join together for one Northern Beaches council area.
And by the powers combined, do we get Captain Planet at the end of this if we do this? Then I'm all for the amalgamation if we get Captain Planet randomly.
I know, pretty much. So Michael Regan, who is the mayor of Warringah, has put out a new media release, I guess, sort of strategy information thing about the benefits of having one council on the Northern Beaches. And it turns out...
I feel like all I've ever heard is people being against it. I didn't realize there were people who were actually for it.
No, people were against splitting Warringah in half.
Oh, but weren't there people protesting the other day about something to do with Mossman? They're in Hyde Park.
Yeah, people are protesting about
news,
Mossman being included. We don't want Mossman. We want them to go to North Sydney. Sorry, Mossman.
Oh.
But
there's a body of water between us and them. Spit Bridge is there for a reason. It goes up for a reason. No kidding.
The council line, we cut the line there. But no, so it turns out that the council have had an auditor's report from KPMG, and it seems that one Northern Beaches council would actually produce the most savings and likely have the most significant social and strategic benefits for the Northern Beaches if we were to join as one council.
But wouldn't it be more savings because lots of people would lose their job because it'd be 3 councils becoming one, so we'd have one person instead of 3 people doing that job across 3 councils?
Yeah, so it would save...
Isn't that with the savings? Because it's like, oh yeah, we're cutting our expenses of people's income by like...
Yeah, no, you're
That's
absolutely
all
correct. So cutting the loss of jobs will add to the money, I suppose. But it's more that at the moment we're tripling up on resources where we don't have to. So a lot of things are going to be smoothed out when the 3 councils combine, if they do, which is good.
Captain Planet, continue.
So the study found that the beaches could save up to $44.9 million over the next 10 years and reduce employee costs by $54.9 million if we were to join together.
What would they spend that money on?
Probably the hospital.
So it's not going to be a big statue of me.
No.
I'm against this amalgamation.
Because it was said just recently that Manly and Monavale Hospital are both closing.
Oh.
To put all the money in to the Northern Beaches Hospital that's being built in Frenchs Forest. It's due for opening in 2 years. So there we go.
Which sucks if you get like sick or hurt now. Sorry, guys.
This is true. So the Mayor of Warringah has said that a single Northern Beaches Council would be well placed to shape the transport, health and economic development priorities for the region. It would reduce the barriers to coordinated planning. It would benefit the management of the Northern Beaches Hospital precinct and harmonise environmental planning and strategies across the whole Northern Beaches region to make a more powerful and influential joined area, which is quite cool. I mean, I sort of think of the beaches as one. I think it would be good to be joined as a council area. Better than splitting us in the middle.
Where would they be based? Because Manly council chambers is really pretty. I don't know what the ones look like.
They're not as pretty, but I presume...
I'm just going to be at face value. How pretty are the buildings?
I presume you'd go somewhere sort of in the middle, more towards Warringah Council. What would be Warringah Council area, just to be central.
Yeah.
But
well, I guess
I'm sure where
they still have all those buildings and stuff would still happen there.
So at the moment, it's Warringah Council that is pushing for the 3 councils coming together. Pittwater and Manly are not as on board as Warringah. So if you want to have your say as a member of the community, you can by going to northernbeaches.com. All the information is there. As we know, the public are getting a say. I guess generally the issue with small councils, which was what people have always said, is that they don't attract the same level as funding as larger councils. I mean, that's why all these councils are being amalgamated, not because they're not profitable, but because, the government can't sustain funding for such small areas when it's so much more cost efficient to have larger areas. And I mean, this has played out really well. The whole of Brisbane City is one council.
Really?
The whole of Auckland City is one council. And that's sort of more the model that Sydney is, I guess, moving towards now, because there's something like 200 councils in Sydney, which is just extortionate.
I mean, it does make sense, like you were saying, with such small suburbs, which I've realised the last couple of weeks with our suburb focus. There's so many little suburbs that I didn't even know were suburbs. I thought they were part of another suburb. And so it almost makes sense to sort of, I guess, unite us a bit better.
Yeah. I think the issue that's happening a lot on the northern beaches is there are a lot of older residents, as we've always said. It's quite an ageing population.
Thank goodness there's a seniors festival coming up.
I know.
In the council area.
Appeals for you.
It'll actually be easy. Okay, if we do amalgamate, it'll be so much easier for me when I'm doing research for the show, because I can look on one council website instead of
we don't have to look
three,
across 3 different ones.
and cross-reference myself. So from a personal lazy point of view, I'm for the amalgamation.
And if you put all 3 together, there might even be more seniors events.
Ooh.
You never know.
Maybe more plays and stuff. That could be fun.
It could be
And
fun.
more like arts festivals.
Yeah. So, there are positives and positives and benefits, yes, and also negatives.
Only positives and benefits, guys. There's nothing could go wrong here.
What we've been hearing on the show is that people are concerned that with a bigger council, the community focus might be lost. It might be harder to approach your council about issues, but
that's understandable.
Yeah, which is understandable, but I'm sure that if councils were to combine, they would find a way to adequately counter that with specialised positions, but yet to be seen. So that's our little spiel on council amalgamation. We promise not to touch the topic again because we know that it's real boring, but it's also really necessary if you're a member of the area to be kind of thinking about it, because if you get asked, it's probably best to not be that person that doesn't really know, so kind of just puts in a vote because they have to. It's better to be at least a little bit informed.
I was going to say, it may not interest you, like it doesn't really interest me that much, but it affects you. So
yeah,
as much as you may not care about it as much, it is good to at least know the basic facts.
And
know,
like the US elections, like how we were talking last week.
Yeah, even knowing who or which councils are involved, what they want to do, what are the potential outcomes, really basic stuff, so you have a basic knowledge of it, and just so you know what's coming, I guess, which sounds very like, you know what's coming. Like,
we know what's coming to you.
Not in a dystopic way, just in a knowledgeable and aware of the future kind of way. We'll be right back after this, guys. Enjoy some back-to-back hits, and we'll see you on the side of these songs. Welcome back to the 3 p.m. Takeover. I hope you enjoyed a bit of Christina Aguilera.
She's just so great.
During her dreadlock stage. I swear, okay, I'm not going nuts. She had dreads for a while, right?
I think she did. She had a bit crazy phase.
It was not crazy. It was kind of like a grungy phase. Was it grungy?
That's a good way.
Is that the word for it?
Yeah, it's a good word. Have you always wanted dreadlocks, but then obviously been like, I would never get them, but been like, I wonder what I would look like / what they would feel like?
Yeah, I have. When I was at my youth group, one of my youth leaders had dreadlocks for a while, and she was so cool she could pull them off. But I know that I couldn't pull it off.
Oh, no, though. I'm totally not cool enough for dreadlocks.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm not like
hipster enough.
Yeah, I'm not hippie / hipster enough.
You're not from like north of Newport.
But I swear every other person I meet with dreadies is really cool. My cousin used to have them.
That's really cool.
And I feel like the longer your dreadlocks, the more laid back you are and relaxed as a person. That's my assumption.
And the further up the beaches you live.
Well, he was from Queensland. He was very far up the beaches.
Right up the coast.
But on a completely different note, so we have some boxes in storage that we're like slowly taking out and going through. And a box that we pulled out the other day, it was my box. And I opened it, I was like, oh, I forgot I used to do this. And I'd kept all the things.
What was it?
I used to collect coins.
Really?
Not like, I didn't have like special albums. I just had like separate money boxes and like divided them up by country. And I didn't have every piece. I just collected the ones that I liked. But
so like different currencies or like Australian currency, but special coins of it?
Both. So I have one money box for Australian currency, which I now think I'm just going to go through and take out and use on coffee. And...
and days of saving are gone.
And then the other ones of like ones that I really like, and some old coins as well. Like I have some old Australian pennies and that kind of stuff.
Fun.
Yeah, and I'd like, for some reason it's just completely slipped my mind that I had these like boxes of coins.
Yeah. No, I don't know what happened to mine because I kind of went through a similar phase when I was younger, and my dad and I used to collect coins, but we would buy the special things from the newsagents where it was like, look out for this limited edition coin that's going to be made soon, and we'd like put them all in. And I have
I was more of an
I have some sporadic coin collector.
I was a sporadic accidental like, oh, that coin's really pretty, because I did it for, and I realized why I used to like it, and it's because so I studied graphic design and I'm a designer. And I realized that I really liked the design and how, interestingly, even like if you ever go to the museums and they have like a coin section, isn't it weird how no matter what country, they all came out round?
Yeah.
It freaks me out.
No, it's interesting.
And everyone was like, let's put a head on it.
Except for 50 cents.
Yeah, they're like,
octagon.
Let's make it a geometric shape. But am I correct in saying that you used to collect stamps?
Yes and
That's
no.
a yes. Your hesitation is all I need to know.
This is the thing. So I didn't...
It's such a weird dorky hobby.
It is a dorky hobby. I didn't collect stamps, but for some odd reason, for my birthday one year when I was maybe 7 or 8, someone bought me a stamp collecting kit.
It's a classic present for a 7-year-old.
And it came with... But like you didn't really need to collect because it came with like over 100 unusual stamps. And I was like, this is enough stamps for me. And I think I only ever added like maybe 10 stamps to the collection. And I kind of looked at them for about a month and then I don't know what happened. So I'm not sure I was a stamp collector. I had many stamps, but I didn't collect them.
Were you like,
they came together.
I have to send out all these thank you letters. Oh.
No, because...
Thank goodness I have all these stamps ready.
They weren't like valid stamps anymore.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And as you know, like the price of stamps always changes awkwardly and then you can't kind of use old stamps, which is difficult.
And then you have to like buy the fill stamps. So it's like if it's 70 cents, it goes up to 80. You have to buy like a bunch of 10-cent stamps to like bulk it up. It's so confusing.
You just look like a bad male person. Like you couldn't get the right stamp.
It's so I'm just going to, I don't know. I clearly don't send letters often enough, but I feel like every time I need to send a letter, it's gone up and I have to add more like 5-cent stamps to it. And I'm like, what is this?
But yeah, you're right. Stamp collecting is kind of dorky. It's one of those weird hobbies.
But I don't think it's weird because it's that classic hobby.
It is a classic hobby. That's true.
But then there's
coin and stamp collecting has been around since
since there have been coins and stamps.
since there have been coins and stamps. So it's actually not that kind of unusual. But
well, it's like whenever you see, I think it's like the Guinness Book of Records. They have like the weird records for things people collect, and it's like Barbie dolls and like single shoes and like really weird stuff like that.
Now that is something I collect. Talking about
what, single shoes and Barbie dolls?
Not single shoes, but I do collect Barbies.
Really?
Yeah, I sort of followed my mum into it, so we have a whole collection of Barbies dating back a long time. We have all sorts of unusual ones. We've got them from all over the world.
Oh, the like ones in their boxes and mid-condition kind of thing?
Yeah, ones that you don't take out of their boxes and stuff. And I have quite an extensive collection.
Wow. Do you have a favourite among that collection?
I have the NASA Barbie from NASA, who I think is really cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Space Barbie.
Yeah, she's like Space Barbie.
Is there a Space Cowboy Barbie?
I don't know.
There should be.
Maybe.
Barbie Corporation. I know you're listening, obviously.
And she comes with a little packet of space food. Remember how we were talking about space food and then it's like space ice cream?
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's probably my favourite. But aside from that, I don't think I really have any unusual hobbies. I don't know, do you?
I don't think
anymore.
I do. I feel like it's going to sound really sad, but I feel like I don't have time for hobbies anymore.
But then it's like, what do people consider unusual?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it depends on what, definitely what you, because like I could say that like YouTube's a hobby, like watching it and making videos, but I don't, like, I think
necessarily unusual.
I think a couple of years ago that would be slightly weird, but now that's really normal.
Now that's very normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Is having a radio show a weird hobby?
I don't think so. Again, many people have them these days. So,
that's true. And if you want to have one, you can just come to a radio skills workshop and have your own show. It's that easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard and we work really hard and it's so hard to get here, but it's also really easy.
But if you're interested in becoming a presenter on Red Northern Beaches, you can visit our website, rnb.org.au, and have a look for our next skills workshop, which I believe is going to be in May, so very soon. It's on a Saturday.
I'm going to be helping out at it.
Yeah, we will even be there.
Bring your stamp collection
meet and greet us.
Show us your stamp collection. I said that in a really weird way. I don't mean that in a creepy way.
Bring us your stamp collection. Please show us your stamp collection.
Yeah. Are there any other weird? I feel like there's a whole list of probably weird hobbies that we haven't even
like
collecting
know
bugs.
Someone with weird hobby. Collecting bugs, yuck. I really don't like that. And then they
How
like
do you
pin them
stop
down and look at them through
How do you stop them
magnifying
going gross?
You don't. You pin it down and then you like peer at it through a magnifying glass and that's all.
But don't they like rot because they're organic matter?
Yes. Yuck.
Ugh. Is that why they put them in like airtight cases? So it's like, if air's not getting in, nothing's happening.
Pretty much. But then it still does. It just delays the process a bit. But I know someone with an odd hobby. I know someone that's a plane watcher. And
What?
like, so she drives to near the airport and she watches planes, which like sounds fine. Normal people are plane photographers and stuff. But she has like all the different timetables downloaded from different airlines and she will like track them to see like what's early and what's late and like what direction they're flying in from and stuff. And apparently like being a plane tracker is quite common, but it's quite timely. Like you have to spend a lot of time doing it.
Is it like bird watching for the modern century?
I suppose, except that you can't like plane watch from your house generally. Like you have to like go closer. But people used to like bird watch from their house. But yeah, same idea.
Huh.
Like where you plot like this species of bird and what time you saw it and that kind of
I
thing.
about to say species of plane. I was like, I don't think they're called species.
It's the rare Emirates species.
The A380. Grazing through the sky, soaring high above us. In its natural habitat.
That's how you put on like the sort of
The David Attenborough voice.
And now we see the A380.
In its natural habitat.
But then it would be, it would be like a little comet plane as well.
I think that used to be like a hobby. A friend of mine in high school used to, in like early high school, we'd like pick some random person across, like on the oval, and we'd do the David Attenborough voice and just describe what they're doing.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
so
going to
funny.
be like, and now we see the rare Year 7 boy playing soccer and getting tackled by his friends. Like, it's such a fun random hobby to do. It's like people watching, but like with the added observational
David
part.
Attenborough watching.
Yeah, like the commentary part.
There should be a name for that. Is that an odd hobby?
Maybe. I've coined like the whole Adele paradox. Maybe it's like
That's true.
it's Attenboroughing. No, it's
Attenboroughing.
It's too hard to say.
You know that people watching like classifies as a hobby. Like some people like
Really?
to just be people watchers.
And they have the timetables of people going past and they track them and... No?
No, I don't think
Not like
so. I think
plane
they
watching?
just observe people. Like they're just
People watching is so
like
fun.
behavior types and stuff.
It's
Yeah,
so
people
fun to
watching is
do.
fun. It's really cool. So if you have an unusual hobby,
Or you know of one.
or you just have a hobby and it might not be unusual, but it might be.
Dob in a friend, actually.
Let us
Tag
know.
him. Tag him on Facebook.
Or yeah, Dob in a friend. We would love to hear what your hobbies are, and we might even talk about them on air in a couple of weeks.
In a nice, positive, uplifting way. We're not going to make fun of anyone.
Yeah, I mean, please.
Well, we might.
We collected stamps and coins. What can we say?
That's true. But at least we didn't kill bugs. And on that cheery note, let's head into a song.
This is Ugly Heart by GRL. Welcome back to the 3 p.m. Takeover. We are kind of right at the end of our show, which means what, Victoria?
Suburb Focus.
We should just record you doing that so then we can just like play it and you don't have to do it every week.
No, it's fun.
Or do you enjoy it?
Because then there's like slight differentiation between every week and it makes it special. Because every suburb is special, Hope.
It is special. And this week, what's even more special is that we're talking about two suburbs, kind of like we did last week with Bilgola Beach and Bilgola Plateau.
But these ones don't have the same name in it, do they?
Well, they do have one same name.
Oh, the second part. Not like Bilgola Plateau. It's like...
Yeah, two different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are talking about Elvina Bay and Lovett Bay this week, which are 35 kilometres north of the CBD and are both classified as bays and suburbs.
Oh.
Fun fact.
Bayburbs?
Bayburbs. So that area generally is called the Western Foreshore, and the bays are located within the Coringa Chase National Park.
Oh, they're within the national park.
Yeah, technically.
Oh, I didn't realise they were in the national park.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of like abutted it.
Abutted. Terrible. I hate that word.
No, it's good. I think it's in Pride and Prejudice.
But
Like,
there's
it was
no-
like
there's no
my
good
humble
synonym.
estate abuts her like
Yeah.
mansion or whatever.
It's such an old-fashioned word. But
It's a great word.
It's the best. It's like I was at work today. Someone used the word betwixt instead of between, and I was like, "Who says betwixt anymore?"
And you're like,
So funny.
Mr. Darcy, is that you?
Oh gosh. But anyway, so the area used to be known as Towlers Bay. And obviously now it's Lovett Bay and Elvina Bay. Lovett Bay was named after John Lovett, who was the first resident of the area in 1836.
Wow.
So quite a long time ago.
Would you name a suburb after yourself if you're the first person there?
William Smith Bay has such a good ring to it. Bone Bay.
Yeah, I'm like, my
Bone
name
Bay.
doesn't really allow for such interesting naming.
If my surname was Lovett, I probably would.
Yeah, that's true. If you had a good
Lovett's a
last
nice
name.
name. Or Elvina.
Bone Bay. Bone Bay sounds a bit ominous, actually.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that one. But Lovett is a nice name, so that's all right. And I actually had no idea about this. If you live in Lovett Bay or Elvina Bay, in which case this is your week, so we want to hear from you. You might know this, but I didn't. Dorothy McKellar used to live in Lovett Bay in the 1920s.
That's crazy.
It's where she wrote a lot of her early poems.
I'm not a huge poetry person, but I know like 2 verses of I Love a Sunburnt Country.
Yeah, it's such a classic poem, so iconic.
And like Hamlet soliloquies, that's like all I got. That's
Nothing
else. That's like as cultured as I get. I didn't realize she lived so close.
Yeah, she's totally a Northern Beaches chick.
Wow.
Isn't that so cool?
Maybe don't call her chick.
Yeah, but she's in the
Maybe
beaches,
not.
so you know it works.
And I think we were saying before about like features that happen on all the beaches. I was saying like cliffs and golf courses
instead of...
And I said to you, I was like, I feel like Dorothy McKellar would be the kind of person to play golf. Can someone please like write in and confirm or deny whether she
is the golfing type?
Even if she wasn't, would she feel like the golfing type?
I don't know.
She wrote kick-ass poetry. Why can't she kick ass on the course?
This is true.
18 verses, 18 holes.
So the northern headland of Elvina Bay was once home to a lot of farmland, I guess on the edge of the national park, which was famous in the 1800s for its fruit trees and for its timber production.
Oh. So what kind of fruit trees are we talking?
All sorts of fruit trees, apparently.
Is it kind of like what's that area, which clearly is not that famous, where they have like all the apples? Near the Blue Mountains?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bilpin.
That's it, Bilpin. I was thinking like another B word.
Yeah, Bilpin. I think
it's kind of like it used to be like well known for that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was well known for citrus trees.
Oh. Delicious.
Yeah, so Elvina Bay was once a very working and bustling suburb. It's a little bit smaller now.
Probably a bit quieter.
A lot quieter, not as many people in the immediate area. But anyway, so that is Elvina Bay and Lovett Bay. We are slowly inching our way through the beaches, still very high up on the north side in Pittwater, but we will be moving on again next week.
I feel like if we started this suburb focus like a year or so after if the amalgamation went through, there'd be a lot less suburbs to get through.
No, the suburbs stay the same, just not the councils.
Yeah, councils is the first bit, but maybe the second part of the plan is to like merge a whole bunch of suburbs. If they don't like the councils being small, think how they feel about suburbs being small.
There are some tiny ones I think we could do with merging a few. No, that's not true.
One person's... I would love to have like a suburb all to myself.
Yeah, I'm personally from a small suburb, so I'm pro the small suburbs, but not quite as small as Lovett Bay, but
I would like...
small.
It's like those people like find out that their land happens to be like not owned by the country they're in, so they're like they like name it like they're like this might like make a flag, they're like technically it's mine, like they claim their like house in the name of like their own family name or something. I love when like random stories like loopholes come up like that and then the council's like no it's ours, I swear. You can't have a flag, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's so funny.
Anyway, I hope you guys had an excellent week and a really good Wednesday afternoon with us, and we look forward to the end of a great week, I hope. Hope you guys had a good week.
Yeah.
My week started out kind of so I hope it gets even better than it has. Like, it's gotten much better.
It's going to be a great week.
But like Mondays are never good, so I guess I should have seen that one coming. Especially with how crazy the weather was, like getting to and from work in crazy
it was so
torrential
bad at the
rain.
beginning of the week. It wasn't good.
I love rain, but not like going through it to get to work.
It was warm today. It was better.
True. So I hope you guys had a great week. We'll see you next week. We'll see you Friday if you want to listen to the repeat. And hear me make lots of Captain Planet references.
Bye.